Hey everyone, and welcome back to Malaysia in Focus, the place where we break down all the stories shaping our nation. And you're going to want to stick around for this one, because today we're talking about our economy. The numbers look fantastic, but there's a much deeper story hiding behind all those big shiny headlines.
All right, so let's just jump right in. On the surface, things look incredible, right? I mean, the economy grew by a whopping 5.7% in the last quarter of 2025. That is the strongest growth we've seen in a year and a half. It's the kind of headline number that gets everyone excited. But, as we all know, big numbers don't always tell the whole story, do they?
So, that leads us to the real question, the one we're going to dig into today. What's actually under the hood of this economic engine? You know, is this just a temporary sugar rush, or are we building something that's really built to last? Let's find out.
Okay, so to really get what's going on, we need to look at the actual growth drivers. Let's peel back the layers on this boom and see what's really making things tick.
And really, it boils down to two main things, two powerful engines firing on all cylinders. First up, it's what's happening right here at home, strong domestic demand. Basically, you, me, our neighbors, we're all out there spending. And the second engine, a massive rebound in tourism. People are coming back to Malaysia in droves.
So, what's getting people to open their wallets? Well, a few key things. For one, the job market is pretty stable, and that gives everyone a bit more confidence to spend, right? Then you throw in the big festive seasons like Diwali and Christmas, plus all that back-to-school shopping, it all adds up to a huge boost. And on top of all that, investment is still going strong, which just keeps the whole thing moving.
And then there's that other engine we talked about, tourism. And look, this is not just some small side hustle for the economy. In 2024, tourism made up a massive 15.1% of our entire GDP. I mean, think about that. That is a huge slice of the pie, and it really shows you just how crucial this sector is for our recovery.
So, where's all that tourist money going? This chart breaks it down perfectly. The biggest piece of the pie, by far, is shopping, over a third of all spending. After that, you've got transport, getting around, and then accommodation. What this really shows is that when tourists visit, the money doesn't just go to one place. It spreads out across so many different parts of our economy, from the shops to the taxi drivers.
If this breakdown is giving you a clearer picture, hit like and subscribe so you'll always stay ahead on Malaysia's biggest issues.
All right, so that's what's happening right now. But let's be real, a smart country is always looking ahead, and the government has a big plan for the future. Let's talk about this new industrial blueprint, the NIMP 2030. So what exactly is this NIMP 2030? Well, think of it like a huge upgrade mission. The idea is to take our manufacturing sector, which has been a solid workhorse for us for decades, and totally supercharge it. We're talking about shifting from just putting things together to actually designing and creating high-tech, high-value stuff, and doing it all sustainably too. This whole plan really stands on four main pillars, or missions. First, making our economy more complex, making cooler, more advanced products. Second, teching up the whole country, going fully digital. Third, a big push for net zero, which is huge. And finally, making sure our economy is safe and that this growth actually helps everyone. These are basically the building blocks for our economic future.
Now that industrial plan is one half of the story. The other massive piece of the puzzle for our future, it's all about green energy. Let's dive into Malaysia's big ambition here, the NETR.
So the NETR. What is it? It's basically our country's game plan for the future of energy. It's a comprehensive roadmap to slowly but surely move away from fossil fuels and jump into cleaner options, like solar. The big, ambitious goal at the end of all this? Hitting net zero emissions by 2050.
And this isn't just talk. They've put concrete targets in place. Check this out. The plan is to get to 31% renewable energy by 2025, then jump to 40% by 2035, and then a really ambitious 70% by 2050. It's a step-by-step plan to completely change how we power Malaysia. Okay, so all these big, ambitious plans for the future, they're not just nice-to-haves. They are absolutely essential. Because even though things look good on the surface right now, there's a big storm cloud gathering on the horizon, and we have to talk about it. We have to talk about the Petronas problem.
I mean, for as long as many of us can remember, Petronas has been like the foundation of our government's budget, right? Pumping in all that money from oil and gas. But that well, it's starting to run a bit dry.
The whole world of energy is changing, and that means Malaysia has no choice but to completely rethink how we make our money as a country.
And if you want to see just how serious this is, look at these numbers. In 2025, Petronas is giving the government 32 billion ringgit. But the very next year, 2026, that's projected to fall all the way down to 20 billion. That's a 12 billion ringgit hole that's just appeared in the national budget in one single year.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. This is coming straight from the Ministry of Finance. They're saying that overall petroleum revenue is going to take a huge hit. And that is why all this talk about new industries, high-tech manufacturing, green energy isn't just a nice plan. It's become a matter of survival. So this really brings everything together, doesn't it? The challenge we just saw with Petronas is exactly why those big plans, the NIMP and the NETR, are so important. But to build this new economy of tomorrow, you need fuel. You need a ton of investment. So the big question is, where is that money coming from?
Well, here's your answer. In just the first half of 2025, Malaysia pulled in some serious foreign investment. Look at this list. Our neighbor Singapore is leading the pack, but you've also got huge players like China and the US pumping money in. This is a massive vote of confidence from the rest of the world. They see where Malaysia is heading and they want in.
Join thousands of Malaysians who want clarity, not confusion. Tap like, hit subscribe, and let's keep making sense of this together.
And so, we're left with this one big, critical question. The old way of doing things, relying on oil money, is clearly fading away. And these new, ambitious plans are stepping up to take its place. But is it enough? Is Malaysia really building an economy that can thrive without its oil? That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Something for all of us to watch very, very closely.